Hi, everyone. Sharon Raji Maynard here. I have been working in the TAG Galactic Information Platform since 1989, a lot of years. And that platform can go very deep, has been evolving consistently, expanding. As we know more, it shows more. And I find it sometimes easy to get stuck in the way deep information, forgetting that a lot of what we see in our personal life is a little bit more up close. So when life happens, what do you do? Well, on the Galactic to Gaia tag platform, when you are triggered or deregulated or out of good mind, or life happens and you hit a wall. And I think all of those terms are used to signify when something in your life appears to knock you off your sense of safety or balance or ease. You are triggered or deregulated or out of good mind or hitting a wall. The tag platform recognizes that whatever is in the energy field, which is where we live, who we live, we are energy. Whenever there is anything in the energy field, it is going to form. That is how it works here on the planet. And it forms to bring our attention to it. That form may be a thought, it might be an emotion, a memory, a slight physical pain, or a bigger situation. It's pretty common in our developed world and countries that we have become quite normalized, or we're going to ignore those small indicators, the doubt, the fear, not enough, tiny pains, and just get on with life. However, if there is some story, code, situation, trauma held within your personal field of energy, it does not go away. It is there and will stay there until you take responsibility to decide, do you want it to stay in your field? Do you want it to get bigger? Do you want to shape it differently? Or do you want to have it removed? The law of manifestation that we as star souls designated be here in our earth experience was so that outsiders, the dominator, violent, parasitic type codes and agendas, would not slip away and continue to slither through energy fields, but it would slow down. It would slow down, and in slowing down, it would become a form that would be identified in our physical system. Thought, feeling, sensation, etc., so that those in female bodies could name it and make the decision to have anything that would bring harm be moved to extinction, the Sophia voice. And that is why we have the law of manifestation. It isn't exclusive, however, to outsider forms, agendas of domination or parasitic or control. That law is about any code, story, conclusion, label, etc., that is in that energy field. The energy field does not create it itself. It is created by a star soul in a physical body, outsiders in their star bodies of corruption, the energy is simply a place it is held. So when you recognize through thought, memory, feeling, sensation, situation, accident, disease, it's telling you that there is something in your field of life. Do you want to keep it? Now, if you simply note it for a second and get on with life, you have inadvertently chosen to keep whatever is in your specific field. You choose by not choosing. Eventually, that symptom, the deregulation, the trigger, the knocking yourself out of good mind, will come around again. Will you do something with it, or will you just ignore it? So the first step is understanding how energy works. Where is the situation coming from? It's coming from within your field or the part of the bigger field in which you exist. So the first step is to note, as soon as you're aware of that sensation, trigger, deregulation, oh my gosh, there it is, something, and make a note of it. Most of us don't have time in the moment to do anything but note, oh my gosh, that is old fear. Oh my gosh, why am I feeling so empty? Oh my gosh, what's the pain in my left side? Oh my gosh. You see? So, power of recognizing that it is there, naming it, and then at least put it in a journal or on a notepad and say to that energy, the energy is an intelligence. I got you. I don't have time right now, but I want to work with you and understand. So you don't have to get bigger. Just slow down your manifestation. We'll talk tomorrow. So the first step is recognizing, naming it, and making an agreement to interact with it. Step number one. Step number two. So you've noticed and you've made a note where you've named what that deregulation or trigger or out of good mind is. You've made the commitment to come back at a different time to use tools, processes to get the information. Now, your body, your higher self, your soul life field has answers for you. Yes, you could Google the meaning if you want to. You could look into a book of what other people say the meaning is, but that's not yours. It's a method, but it isn't your path. Let's say that what has come up is a sense of fear. Nothing in your life looks fearful, but you are feeling fear. Well, you could Google fear. You could look in books of when fear comes up, what does that mean? Or you could ask your body and your soul. Now, I have found consistently that the method of getting to the cause of a situation, which then gives you the power and knowledge to get to the cause, the codes, and the extensive storage around a situation, happens with three different tag processes. A simple one is called discretion, in which you let yourself feel the feeling and hear the words. So you let yourself feel the particular fear with the words that may say, you are not safe. Life is not safe. Nobody's there to take care of you, something like that. And then the process takes you to a deeper experience around it, a choice as to whether to keep it, how to disconnect from it, and how to be in that field of neutrality, the discreation process. The second is a longer process, and it goes into integrating various aspects of your soul that have, we'll say, fractured off in order to do jobs to keep your life moving forward. A very good tool, for example, for a fractured soul, some people used to call it multiple personality. They're all part of your true self, created in order to keep you surviving well. But it isn't limited to that type of experience. But a soul integration would ask for who in your field knows why you're feeling fear. And it's an entirely right-brained dialogue. Where is it held in your body? Where did it come from? How extensive is it? Going back to the beginning, bringing information from this future you back to the past you, so that that situation is eliminated and all the energy from it, pattern storage, is now brought into current moment to be healed with all of the attending outsiders' devices removed. So the soul discretion is a longer process, and I recommend it. Then there is a shorter process of soul integration called the crystal child integration. And it's just a shorter version of soul integration. So the second step then is to find out from your body, physical and soul bodies, where that trigger is coming from, what it is holding, the patterns that are there, with the teams to help you eliminate the totality of the storage. Some patterns are multi-layered, and you may have to do work around them several times. Other patterns are not that multi-layered, and they might be gone by doing 2 or 3 of those processes. I have found if you want to end deregulation, triggers, being knocked out of good mind, these tools will get you there. That's step number 2. So you've named it. Step number 1. Step number 2, you've discovered the codes, specifics, made choices, begun healing that storage. So step number 3 is a very important step, and it is forgiveness. In the TAG galactic process, we recognize that for eons and eons of time, souls in human bodysuits have been in situations of harm, trauma, over and over and over again. And those are passed down genetically. The energies that are created from a situation can be held as labels. Men are bad. Men are not safe. Women are catty, or can be passed on through the energy storage of the situation itself. The energies around the patterns that you just made different choices on exists in many, 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 many places in your life field and beyond your life field. A lot of it because it's connected and connecting you to others. And the others may not be at any point of awareness to do their own work. So those energies connecting you to them to you, who knows how many lifetimes and how many places, that energy is going to keep you limited and them trapped. So when we use the forgiveness protocol, it is to forgive, or in other words, neutralize the energy of the harm. We remove and neutralize the energy that held patterns in place. We identify and move to extinction through forgiveness energy from agendas who intentionally caused harm. So, step number 3 is forgiveness. I forgive myself for all that I have done. And then bringing to mind as surrogates, I forgive my mom or my dad or my siblings or my partner. I forgive them, you of all energies that have brought harm. And there's a whole dialogue process around it in TAG. Once the forgiving is completed, then you place all of those individuals, no matter where they exist, time, place, into the hands of healers who can restore all of you to your true nature as star beings from home or move to extinction those who have caused harm intentionally. So the third step is forgiveness. You've done step number 1, taking the time to identify something's deregulating you. Step number 2, you've had a dialogue interaction of some type to know what the pattern is, why it's there, what it does, and made a choice to keep it or not keep it, and done processes to begin that healing. Step number 3, you recognize the immensity of the energy created through all of those patterns, through all of those lifetimes, will only trip you up. So you do a forgiveness process to forgive and bring all of that energy into dust or extinction. And so step number 4 is writing a new reality. You write a reality declaration. In my life, I am safe. My power of authority voice moves anything that has or would harm to extinction. And I find joy in living. A reality declaration. You do the reality shift, which brings the energy into your entire soul field, 64 dimensions. And then you do a brain balance or Cook's hookup to anchor those declarations into your neurological system. In addition, I would suggest using the French release method to pull any trauma out of the body itself, or doing a tapping process on what you have just claimed. Step number 4, conscious choice, anchoring it into your entire physical life and your soul life field, and a physical type clearing, either French release or tapping or both. So step number 5, and I love how this makes me feel. You have been living very limitedly within a field of life from home that has no limits. Home has no limits. It has no fear. It has no danger. It has no diminishing. But you've lived in that field where the energy has been diminished by your stories, the storage from those storage, the survival mode, etc. And you've made a big change. So now you're going to use speaking to life of your new story. And you simply, in your imagination, sense yourself here looking out over an immense field of what we all call life, unlimited creativity, intelligence, all good, beauty, frequency, music, dance of all kinds. And basically, you'll say, life, I recognize that I have had a story, that life is scary and I'm not safe and I have to hide. I know that you had to give me those experiences, even though you knew there were better ones for me. But they were my stories, and you had to honor my stories. I don't really care where they came from, doesn't matter anymore. I've given them up. And then you go on with the process to claim your new story, speak to life of your new story, and begin to feel that energy of life coming back to you with what you are now holding. The final step is a repeat of number 4. You repeat your reality declaration, do the reality shift, and then do either a brain balance or a cook's hookup on that new choice. And I want to reiterate here that we are so deeply programmed for limit, survival, hide, scarcity that I would suggest you plan to do just even the reality declaration and brain balance. Reality declaration, cook's hookup many, many times, especially on those patterns that are so big and deep for you and for humanity. So there you have it. In the TAG galactic system of wellness, what do you do when you hit a wall? When you are triggered, when you are deregulated, when you are out of good mind? What do you do? Here are 6 steps. Use them. Life is waiting for you. Blessings.